Introduction to data mining. Introduction to data mining. So before going to this topic, you know what is data warehousing. You know what is data warehousing. So data warehouse is a collection of huge amount of data. So in that data warehouse has a different kind of databases and flat files and other data should be stored in the centralized place is called a data warehouse. So this is the data warehouse. So in this data warehouse, so we have to store the different kind of data. Okay, so that is database plus files plus others. So these are the different kind of data stored in the data warehouse. Okay, so this is called a data warehouse. It is a centralized place, so we store the data. Okay, it shows the huge amount of data. Okay, so next, what is data mining? Data mining in the sense, so whatever the data is in the data warehouse, so you have to extract the data. Extract the data from the data warehouse. Extract the data from the data warehouse. Extract the data from the data warehouse is called data mining. Extract the data from the data warehouse is called data mining. Okay, the data mining is also called knowledge mining. It's also called knowledge mining. You are going to extract the knowledge from the data warehouse. Okay, so from that extraction, you have the data. So you have the extracted data. So from the data, so you are going to make a decision. Okay, from the data you are going to take a decision or going to make a decision. So that's why you go for the data mining. So next is data mining functionalities. So different kind of functionalities. It has the four functionalities. Data mining functionalities. The first functionality is functionality. Functionality is data mining. The first functionality is association. Number 2, classification. Number 3, prediction. Number 4, clustering. Number 5, outlier analysis. So these are the various functionalities of data mining. So first we go for the association rule mining. So what is association? You are going to suppose if you go for purchase a computer. Okay, so you're going to purchase a computer. So along with the computer, you're going to purchase the software also. Okay, you're going to purchase the software also. So because without software, the computer will not work. So without hardware, the software will not work. So both are associated together. So that's why we go for association. So in data mining, so you have to get the associated data. Associated rule mining. Using the associated rule mining, you can able to extract the data from the data warehouse. So that is association. Second is classification. So classification in the sense, so you have to classify the data. So you have the data in the data warehouse. So from the data, you have to classify the data. For example, in our class, having 60 students. Okay, in our class having 60 students. So in the 60 students, I want to classify the 60 students. How are you going to classify? So based on your CGPA. Who all got more than 9 is comes under one class. Who all got 8 to 9 CGPA is comes under another class. Who all got less than 8, so it comes under third class. So class A, class B, class C. So if you go for classification, so after classification, you have to give the label on the particular data. Suppose if I classify in our class, so 60 students who have got more than 90 is comes under the class A. So who all got 8 to 9 is comes under class B. Who all got less than 8 is comes under class C. So class A, class B, class C are the label. Class A, class B, class C are the label. So like that way we have to classify the data. So in that classification, it is a two-step process. So classification is a two-step process. One is learning process. Number 2, learning process, and this is testing. So learning or training, then the second is testing. So two kind of process is there. So in learning process, you are going to learn how you are going to classify the data. So in testing process, you are going to test the data. Suppose if a new student enter into the class, okay. Suppose if the new student enter in the class, I am going to ask you what is your CGPA. He said I am having a 8.5. So 8.5 is the CGPA. So immediately I tell that student go to class B, like that. Okay. So like that way we have to classify the data. So this is the classification. So next is prediction. So prediction is the thing. Okay. So from the classified data you have to predict something. You have to predict something. So from after prediction you go for make a decision. Okay. Its main purpose is to take the decision making purpose. Okay. Decision making purpose. So that's why we go for the prediction. So next is the clustering. So clustering means grouping the similar things. Grouping the similar things is called a clustering. So this clustering, we have to classify we have to cluster the data. Okay. Suppose in a class I'm going to cluster. Okay. I'm going to, in a class 60 students is there. I'm going to classify I'm going to apply the clustering concept in your class. Okay. So in that 60 student, so I'm going to make a 2 cluster. So boys are comes under one cluster, girls are in the another cluster. Boys are in cluster, girls are in the another cluster. Okay. So it is the similar. Okay. So if the I'm going to see the boy or girl. So if is the boy, is go to the one cluster. So if she is a girl, so you go to the next cluster. So clustering is a grouping of similar object. Okay. If the new student enter into the class, so I'm going to see that new student. Okay. So he is a boy or girl. Okay. If he is boy, you go to the cluster 1. If she is a girl, you go to the second cluster 2. Like that way we are going to cluster. So that is clustering, means you have to cluster the similar type of object. So this is clustering. And then the last is outlier analysis. Outlier analysis in the sense, so some data are so far from our data. Okay, some data are so far from our data. So that so far data is called an outlier. So outlier means error. So outlier deduction. So we have to find the error. So we have to some data are so far from our data. So that kind of data are going to be outliers. So that is going to be removed from the data. So that is outlier analysis. Okay, outlier analysis. Okay. So in this 5, so we have to use the different kind of algorithms. In this 5, we have to use a different kind of algorithm to do the functions. Thank you.